Hey guys, it's Shayda. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can make beautiful hand-lettered and hand-painted holiday cards for the Christmas season. So let's get started. Here are the supplies that you'll need for this craft. It's really great if you can find pre-packaged blank greeting cards. I got these at Dollarama. I got cream and white. They come in the package with the envelopes and their cards are unfolded, and it's a good trick if you actually don't fold them right away. Keep them flat while you're working with them. You'll also need graph paper and tracing paper, both cut to the same size as the greeting card. And then you'll need a little piece of graphite transfer paper as well as washi tape to keep everything in place. And then it's nice to have a little palette, although you can use a yogurt lid or something, and a paintbrush. I have a synthetic number 8 brush or number 6. And then you'll want to have some gouache. I love using gouache for painting greeting cards. I'm just using craft quality stuff. I'll link that below. I got it at Michael's. And then you'll want some clean water. So here's how we do it. You're going to cut your graph paper to the same size as the card, and then you're going to work out some sort of design or drawing on that graph paper. I've got my words right in the middle there, and then this floral design all around them. Once you've got the design finished, you're going to use a little piece of tracing paper and you'll go over your design. You'll trace it, and tracing it allows you to perfect it and work out all the bugs. Then once you've got it on the tracing paper, you'll tape that onto the card, make sure it's in the center, and then you're going to place your graphite transfer paper dark side down under your trace, and you'll go over the entire design with a very sharp pencil. When that's done, lift the whole thing up, and you should have this nicely transferred contour drawing, and now you're ready to paint. But I'm going to back up a minute, and first I'm going to show you how I got my design together. So I have the graph paper and I'm laying down some height lines for the letters in the middle. I'm doing that with my ruler on an angle, and once I have my angled lines in place, I'm going to mark off where the center of my card is. So I'm just coming in about 5 squares on each side. And now I know where I want to put the word Merry and the word Christmas. And what I'll do now is just practice with a pencil. I'll erase these words as many times as I have to. Once I am happy with them, I'll go over them with a Sharpie or a pen. And once I have them looking the way I like, then I'll go in and I'll do that faux calligraphy where you just thicken on the downstroke of each letter. If you need more info about that hand lettering style, I'll link my video on it in the description below. Once the message is in place, this gets really fun as you just get to go all around the words and place berries and leaves and flowers and all sorts of holly and Christmassy stuff. Alright, so that's how you produce and transfer your design. And once the design is on the card, you just have this fun afternoon of painting. And you could transfer all your designs and put them on as many cards as you're going to do. And then you're just going to mix up a little gouache and paint. And I like to start with the letters. I like to do the words first, just because if you mess up, you can, scrap that one and start over. It's discouraging if you leave the words for the end and then you make a mistake and you realize the whole afternoon was a waste. So start with the words, mix your gouache up. The consistency should be like a little pool of water, but the gouache, when you put it on the page, should still be opaque. So just test it out a little. Once you work with it a little, you'll get a feel for how that paint should look in the palette and on the page. And here you can see I'm just using one color. I'm doing my favorite white and blue, very classic. At least that's how I'm starting. And I'm just filling in my drawing, trying to create some contrast. So doing some areas lots of blue, other areas leaving lots of white. And I think that it's coming together quite beautifully, and working with one color of paint is certainly a great way to introduce yourself to a new type of paint. So if you're unfamiliar with gouache, I highly recommend just doing blue or black or something very simple like that. Now I have a few other tips and tricks for you when it comes to painting these cards. The first is to just keep it simple. So here you can see I'm doing a very similar design with the berries and leaves, but I've kept it even more pared down than the first, and I think it looks just as pretty, if not even prettier actually. I think this was actually my favorite of the two. Now my second tip has to do with the lettering. So when you're doing your letters in paint, you can use your brush lettering techniques, and that means that you're going to have this very light stroke on the upstroke and then come with a heavy stroke on the downstroke like I'm doing there. So that's the proper way to do your brush lettering, and I have a video on that. But if you're not up for it, you can fake it. You can just write your letters in with the gouache, as you see me doing here, and then you can come back in and thicken them wherever you need to. And if you want more info about brush lettering, I will link my video on it below in the description. My third tip is just to keep the colors simple. So choose a simple color palette. That will help you to create a card that has a very sophisticated and almost store-bought look. Pick 2 or 3 colors and stick with that. This card will have a color palette of predominantly black, white, green, and red. And my original card, I'm complementing the blue and white with a little bit of light blue. My fourth tip for sophisticated hand-painted cards is to remember your depth. Add a little black or white to your main colors of paint and paint on some highlights and shadows. And my final suggestion is to make that message stand out. So here I felt Merry Christmas was sort of blending in too much with the florals, and I'm adding a little bit of red. Thanks so much for watching today, guys. I hope you'll give hand painting your own holiday cards a try this year. If you enjoyed today's video, please don't hesitate to hit like and subscribe, and help me reach 50,000 subscribers by the end of 2016. Share these videos on Facebook, tell your friends and family how much you like this channel, and help me reach my goal. Thanks, and I'll see you Friday with a new tutorial.